people are reluctant to admit this because when you've achieved what you wanted to achieve in life, you always want to say it was because of you worked so hard and because you burned the midnight oil and because you did this and you did that. But the real reason is usually because you were lucky, because you met somebody who advanced your career, and the person who will advance your career is always the person, or almost always the person on the inside. The world changed when Napoleon Bonaparte showed up, because before Napoleon Bonaparte, you had to be connected to get a good job. You had to be royalty. You had to have gone to the right school. And with Napoleon came the concept of battlefield promotions, which is, if you can kill those guys, you can work for me. And it was all based upon skill, and it was based upon enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a great substitute for skill or intelligence. An awful lot of people who are successful in this world just work really hard. And they're really dumb people, but I'm not saying anybody here, because the one thing about a job, any job, is it provides you with money, but also it provides you with self-esteem, and also it is so much easier to get a job if you already have a job. It's really so much easier to get a job if you have a job, even if it's a bad job. If you have a specific dream and it's writing or it's dancing or it's music, do not wander too far away from what you want to do. And in a way, it's better to have a menial job, because a menial job isn't going to turn into a career. Whereas once you get a job, and the obvious example is teaching. There are writers who teach, but mostly people who teach are teachers who just happen to write on the side. To me, writing is making a living as a writer. That, to me, is what a writer is. A writer is somebody who feeds his family, who buys a house, who gets up every single day and writes. And that's not to disparage fiction writers, because you can't make a living writing serious literary fiction. You have to teach. But be that as it may, once you get into the teaching profession, or once you get into any profession where you're making a decent salary, the motivation to continue writing will dissipate.
My name's Cameron Koob. I'm a freshman, intended gov major. Anyway, the one question I can never really answer in any interview is, what do you consider your greatest weakness? And I'm starting to find that I'm too arrogant to admit that I have a weakness, but...
I would never admit it.
Yeah.
Never. Absolutely.
But what's the right answer?
I just smack the person who asked me that question. I just say my greatest weakness is when people ask me questions that I don't like, I smack them. But and the other thing is, I know some of your seniors. I know how hard it is. You know, it doesn't. You know, you hear from older people and they go, "Oh, when I was a boy growing up in, I don't know, Central Asia, you know, we had to go out and milk the yak in the middle of the night. You guys have no idea how hard it is." But to quote another Englishman, when you're in a situation like this, you know, you send out applications, they get rejected, people will turn you down, you have to keep going. Winston Churchill said something during the middle of the Second World War, which is very valuable and very inspirational, and you probably heard it, and it's, when you're going through hell, keep on going. Thank you.